Hello again, everybody. Today I thought I'd show you my latest lens acquisition, which is a lens I wasn't planning on actually getting. I was planning on picking up the newer 24-70 f2.8 lens to replace my 24-105 f4L USM lens that I originally got with my Canon 5D Mark III. Thought it was about time for an upgrade, and went down to the shop with intentions of getting the new 2.8 24-70, or the relatively new lens anyway. End up coming home with something slightly different, which I didn't think I would have ever picked up, but I was convinced, and I had changed my mind, and it ended up saving me about $800. So the lens in question, the lens I'm talking about here, is the 24-70 f4L USM. So a slightly newer lens than the 2.8 version. And why did I go with the f4 lens coming from this 24, the trusty old 24-105 lens here, which has served me well for quite a long time. It's been a workhorse, and it's served me pretty well on hundreds of weddings, shoots, and location shoots. So why did I go for the new one? Here it is here, the 24-70 f4. Well, for one, they didn't have the 2.8 in stock, and I was going to have to wait for a while. Being the impatient person that I am, I went for this one, but that's not the only reason. Once I had a look at it, you can actually see it's nice and small and light compared to the 24-105. If I can hold them up so you can see them there. It's quite a bit smaller and just a little bit lighter as well. But the thing that got me most about this lens is the macro function, which is right here around the front of the lens here. So how it works is you can zoom from 24 to 70, and it locks out there. Then you have your little macro switch, which you hold up and then rotate the lens even further around the barrel there to about an 80mm setting, which then allows you to focus in at an amazingly close 20 centimeters from the sensor plane here outwards. So that brings you into about this far in front of the lens. That's pretty impressive. So that was one of the main selling points, considering I just sold my macro 100mm macro lens, and I didn't have anything that I could use apart from some macro tubes and things like that. But usually when I'm out shooting a wedding, I don't want to carry around a separate lens just so I can do the odd macro shot here and there. But having a really good macro feature built in to high quality glass and a versatile lens like this, that was a pretty big selling point for me. So it was either spend close to $2,000 for the 2.8 version, or about $800 less. I think I got this for about 12,000 yen, so 120,000 yen. Anyway, about 1,200 US dollars or somewhere around there to get this lens. So it is a stop slower, obviously, at f4, but in return you get IS, which gives you, what Canon say, about 4 stops of extra light, and you do get this really cool macro feature, which isn't in the 2.8 version either. And the previous lens, the 24-105, could only focus as close as, I believe, around about 40 centimeters from the sensor plane, which is that little mark there, in case you didn't know. That's what that mark symbolizes. So before, it was about, I could focus maybe this close. Now, with the new 24-70 f4, about this close, once you're zoomed out and you're in macro mode. Very cool indeed. This switch also doubles as a lock feature, so that if you're carrying your camera with the lens down, not that the lens creeps anyway, but some lenses, if you're carrying them in this position, the lens can actually creep down and slide down like that. This lens has a lock feature here, so if you put it out to 24mm and you slide this little slider here, little switch down, it locks the lens and it will not rotate. Okay. Not that I think that I'll need to use that, because the lens seems to be quite dampened and it doesn't seem to want to creep at all anyway. But anyway, it's a nice feature to have on there. The other really cool feature is this focusing ring is smooth like butter. Very good if you want to do video, especially considering you have the image stabilization as well. But I noticed a big improvement over the focus turning mechanism here. Very, very smooth indeed. And I did a couple of quick test shots comparing it with the 24-105, and it was noticeably sharper, especially out toward the edges, where the 24-105 would go quite soft, and I would see quite a bit of chromatic aberration. This new lens took pretty much care of all the chromatic aberration. Maybe there was still a tiny little bit, but hardly noticeable at all. Much sharper, right out to the edges, very usable at f4, and I was quite impressed. Been very good so far. Usually, most of the time, when I'm shooting weddings and out in location, I stick with a wide zoom on one body and a 70-200 2.8 on the other body. I did tend to avoid that middle of the range zoom, just because I wasn't so happy with the performance. But with this new one, I think I might be tempted to go back to that middle of the zoom range type lens once again. So here are the two lenses side by side to get an idea. And they are both weather sealed. It still has your good old sealing around here, so you can shoot in rain and whatnot. And zoomed out, let's see if we zoom them both out. You can see the 24-105 still has a little bit extra height. The filter threads on these are both 77mm. That was one other slight downside about going with this 24-70 2.8. That filter thread on that lens is an 82mm, which would mean I would have had to buy all new filters. So this already fits my existing 77mm filters. Very nice. Another new addition is the new hood type here, which has a little clip on the side. So this one here just pops on and it clicks when it gets into position. I've heard some other reviewers on YouTube saying that they found it was really loose and it was easily bumped and would come undone, but I'm not sure if this is a newer or just a different type or something, I don't know, but mine's very snug, it works perfect, it's very easy to get on and off. Just a little button here, push it there and it comes off nice and easily, but it seems plenty secure, no problem at all. And of course, as anybody who uses Canon would know, the new lens caps are very nice, even though it's just a lens cap, but it's much easier now with the pinch type to just pop the lens down in here without having to get your fingers right down in between the lens hood to get your lens cap off. Not a big difference, but just something small that it helps out when you're doing it time after time. So there it is. I'm looking forward to playing around with this lens a whole lot more. I believe the optics are almost as good as the 2.8 version, and it has new coatings on the front and back to make it easier to remove dirt and handle flare and ghosting, apparently. I haven't played with it too much yet, shooting into the sun or anything like that, but looking forward to it. So there we go. I just thought I'd show you a real quick first little look at the Canon 24-70 f4L IS USM lens. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below as always. And if you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Pete Leong. Happy shooting.